2 days later, the 11th Eclipse Games had officially entered their second year. And somehow, Lord Rain had become even stranger. The giant scoreboard hanging above the central city updated every morning. Millions watched it. Billions discussed it. Contestants dreaded looking at it. Yet everyone did, because the numbers had become absurd. 11th Eclipse Games, Year 2, contestants remaining, 1,7,400. Current kill leader, #1, Lord Rain, 211 kills. The commentators had stopped trying to explain it months ago. The reality was simple. Nobody wanted to fight. Nobody wanted to hunt. Nobody wanted attention. The moment somebody started building a reputation, Lord Rain tended to appear, and people died. As a result, almost every contestant had adopted the same strategy: hide, survive, stay invisible. Unfortunately for them, Lord Rain hated boring games. The cameras found him wandering through the market district shortly after sunrise. The old man carried his battered guitar. His radio hung from one shoulder. Several knives hung from the other. His beard looked even wilder than before. His clothes had become a patchwork collection of stolen jackets, challenge rewards, and random pieces of armor. He looked less like a contestant, more like a homeless prophet, or a dangerous lunatic, possibly both. He strummed his guitar loudly while walking, singing, badly, very badly. 211, strum. And nobody wants to help. Strum, I'm trying to break my old record. Strum. But everybody's scared of death. Several contestants immediately changed direction and walked away. Lord Rain pointed at them. "See?" he shouted at the nearest camera. "They never join in." The camera operator wisely stayed silent. The old man sighed dramatically. "I miss the old days." Another strum. "When people had confidence." Another. "When people tried to stab me." Another. "When murder had spirit." The commentators sounded exhausted. One finally spoke. "I would like to remind viewers that murder has never officially had spirit." The second commentator sighed. "At this point, I think we're all just surviving him." Then the city alarms activated. Immediately, every contestant froze. Every screen lit up. Every drone redirected. The second official challenge had arrived. The crowd erupted. Contestants panicked. Lord Rain grinned so hard it was honestly concerning. The challenge announcer appeared above the city in a giant hologram. The familiar smiling woman looked genuinely excited. "Contestants," her voice echoed across the city. "Congratulations on surviving long enough to witness the second official challenge of the 11th Eclipse Games." The remaining contestants slowly gathered toward the challenge zone. Fear and curiosity mixed together. The announcer continued. 20 contestants have been selected. Groans immediately followed. Names appeared, one after another. Eventually, Lord Rain's name appeared. The old man threw both arms into the air. Finally, nobody else looked excited. The challenge arena activated. A gigantic structure emerged from beneath the city. The audience gasped. Even Lord Rain looked impressed. The arena resembled 20 giant towers standing above a black lake. Each tower stood hundreds of meters high. Thin bridges connected them. Rotating platforms moved constantly. The entire structure shifted every few minutes. Nothing remained stable. Nothing remained predictable. The announcer smiled. "Oh, this one is cruel." That wasn't reassuring. "The challenge is called." A dramatic pause. The falling kingdom. The audience cheered. The announcer continued. Each contestant begins on a separate tower. Screens displayed the arena. The objective is simple. Another pause. Be one of the last 2 contestants standing. The rules appeared. Rule 1. The towers collapse one by one every 30 minutes. Rule 2. The bridges constantly rotate and reconfigure. Rule 3. Contestants may not remain stationary for longer than 10 minutes. Rule 4. Every hour, a random contestant receives a handicap selected by public bidders. The crowd erupted. Lord Rain immediately looked suspicious. The announcer smiled. "Speaking of handicaps." The audience exploded into laughter. The highest bidder had apparently spent an absurd amount of money, specifically for Lord Rain. The announcer struggled not to laugh. "Contestant Lord Rain has received a special entertainment modifier." The old man narrowed his eyes. The audience loved this already. The announcer finally revealed it. For the duration of the challenge, every weapon you touch becomes a rubber version of itself. The crowd lost their minds. The commentators laughed. Contestants cheered. Lord Rain stared. Silence. Then suddenly, he burst out laughing, actually laughing, hard. The old man nearly fell over. "Oh, that's brilliant. That's actually brilliant." The announcer looked surprised. Most contestants got angry about handicaps. Lord Rain looked delighted. The challenge began. Chaos erupted immediately. Contestants sprinted. Bridges shifted. Towers moved. People jumped between platforms. The first death happened within 30 seconds. A contestant missed a moving bridge. Gone. Lord Rain, meanwhile, was having the time of his life. Every knife he touched turned into floppy rubber. Every sword became useless. At one point he tried throwing a dagger. It bounced off someone's forehead. The old man laughed so hard he nearly fell off a bridge. "This is fantastic." The contestant he'd hit looked offended. The challenge continued. Hours passed. Contestants died. Towers collapsed. People fell. People fought. Eventually only 4 remained: Lord Rain and 3 others. The problem? The handicap remained active, and for the first time all challenge. It became an actual issue. The remaining contestants realized they could overwhelm him. The old man became increasingly frustrated. The audience loved it. One contestant landed a punch, another kicked him, a third tackled him. The commentators screamed, the crowd screamed. Lord Rain finally snapped. The laughter stopped. Slowly, very slowly. He stood, breathing heavily. The contestants backed away. Something felt wrong. Then he reached into his coat. The audience went silent. A syringe appeared. The old man's grin returned. Only this time, it didn't look sane. "Oh," he laughed softly. "If we're cheating." Another laugh. Let S cheat. He injected himself immediately. Everything changed. The transformation began instantly. Veins blackened, muscles expanded, bones shifted beneath skin. The audience gasped. The commentators stopped talking. Lord Rain dropped to one knee, growling, not laughing, growling, his face distorted, jaw widening, teeth lengthening, eyes turning completely black. The transformation looked horrifyingly familiar, not identical, but close enough. The mutated villagers, the experiments, the stories, for the first time. Kenny and the rest of Reach's war room saw exactly what those experiments might have created. The old man slowly stood, now towering over the remaining contestants. One tried running. A mistake. Lord Rain crossed the distance impossibly fast. The contestant disappeared beneath claws. The second died moments later. The third didn't even try fighting. He jumped from the tower himself. The challenge ended. Silence. The arena remained frozen. The audience stared. Nobody cheered. Nobody celebrated. The thing standing on the tower barely resembled a human anymore. The announcer looked terrified. The commentators remained speechless. Then, slowly, the transformation began fading. The black veins receded. The claws shrank. The bones shifted back. Lord Rain staggered, breathing heavily, confused. For a moment he looked almost disappointed. Then he turned. The nearest challenge staff stood only 20 meters away, frozen, terrified. The old man stared at them and started walking. The staff immediately screamed. Contestants scattered. Camera crews ran. Security teams retreated. The audience watched in horror, because for several terrifying seconds, it genuinely looked like Lord Rain intended to continue. Not the challenge, the hunt. Then suddenly he stumbled. The mutation faded completely. The old man blinked, looked around, realized everyone was running, and burst out laughing. "Oh, come on, nobody stopped. You're all so dramatic." They continued running. Lord Rain sighed, then picked up his guitar. The scoreboard updated above him. 11th Eclipse Games, Year 2. Contestants remaining 151, 400. Current kill leader, #1. Lord Rain, 214 kills. The old man stared at it, then frowned. He looked genuinely annoyed. The nearest camera cautiously zoomed closer. Lord Rain pointed toward the scoreboard. "Only 3 more than my record? Maybe I am getting old." The camera remained silent. The old man sighed dramatically, then slung the guitar over his shoulder and wandered back toward the city, singing once more, as if he hadn't just transformed into a monster in front of the entire galaxy. Behind him, the contestants remained terrified, and somewhere far away on a recovering dead world, the first clues about Lord Rain's experiments were beginning to make a lot more sense.